This recovered drone footage captures a scenic waterfall in Hawaii, or at least, that was the original plan. What was supposed to be a peaceful video quickly turned into something terrifying. The drone inadvertently caught a flash flood crashing down onto the waterfall. Even worse, a tourist was standing right near the falls when the flood hit. The drone operators, shocked by what they were witnessing, rushed to help the man, but it was too late. He was swept away by the powerful wave. As the group desperately searched for him using the drone, a rescue helicopter arrived on the scene. Miraculously, in the next few moments captured on film, the tourist is seen alive, and somehow he managed to survive with no serious injuries. This footage surfaced in June 2013. It was originally classified and came from a secret German military drone. According to the video description, these dramatic clips show a near collision between a Luna drone and an Afghan passenger plane carrying over 100 people. The drone appears to be on a direct path toward the plane, which is faintly visible in the distance. It all happens very quickly, but you can clearly see how dangerously close the two came. The Luna passes just beneath the plane's left engine, reportedly within 1 meter. Had it made contact, the damage could have been catastrophic. It's a chilling reminder of the risks drones can pose to commercial aviation. In 2017, a 20-year-old man named Zachary was pulled over by police in Florida on suspicion of smuggling contraband in his vehicle. The stop happened on the coast, right near the ocean. In a split-second decision, Zachary made a wild attempt to escape and chose the most impossible route imaginable. He ran for several kilometers along the shoreline and then dove into the sea, swimming straight out. It's hard to say what he was thinking, but he genuinely tried to escape into the open ocean. Needless to say, that plan failed. The drone tracking him soon captured how far he had swum from shore. Exhausted, he began to struggle to stay afloat. Even worse, one of the shots clearly shows a shark swimming nearby, although neither Zachary nor the shark seemed to notice each other. At that point, the situation turned from an arrest into a rescue. With his strength fading fast, Zachary was pulled from the water and taken into custody. Drones aren't just for breathtaking aerial views. They've proven incredibly useful in search and rescue missions too. In this case, the drone helped save a 23-year-old man in India who found himself stranded on the side of a cliff nearly half a mile high. He had climbed the hill with 2 friends, but slipped and fell into a deep ravine with no exit. He was injured, though not seriously. His friends called for rescue. The man spent 40 hours trapped in that precarious position, waiting for help to arrive. Throughout that time, the drone hovered nearby, delivering him food and water, while search teams prepared the climb. Eventually, rescuers reached him and lowered him to safety using ropes. After a tourist in Indonesia was swept away by an underwater current near a waterfall, rescue teams were dispatched to locate her body. But instead of finding her remains, a drone may have captured something far stranger, what some now believe could be her ghost. Despite days of searching, the team came up empty-handed. Then, in this eerie footage, a young woman suddenly appears in the water, even though no one else could see her at the time. Only the drone's camera picks her up. People around her seem to look right through her, as if she isn't there. She appears out of nowhere. According to the story, the missing girl's parents recognize their daughter in the footage, yet she mysteriously vanishes behind a rock. You may not believe in ghosts, but one question still remains. Who was that woman? In April 2020, a drone accidentally captured something strange, and likely classified, unfolding just off the coast of New York. On a small nearby island, visible from the mainland, a group of workers dressed head to toe in white hazmat suits are seen digging a trench. A forklift is carefully burying large sealed containers, strange boxes that look almost like coffins. Standing nearby, several men in black suits observe the entire operation from a distance, without getting too close. Their behavior suggests the contents of those boxes might be dangerous, radioactive, toxic, or worse. But if you look closely, the shape of the containers is deeply unsettling. They resemble human bodies. It's impossible not to imagine the worst, and soon, the truth came out. It was confirmed that the boxes did in fact contain human remains. At the time, the world was in the grip of the COVID-19 pandemic. This chilling footage captured the secret burial of victims on Hart Island, a place long used for mass burials, but now shrouded in a new level of mystery and fear. What the drone recorded was real, tragic, and deeply haunting, a moment in history that wasn't meant to be seen from above. Tampa resident Jeffrey Heim had only been swimming in the Myakka River for a few minutes when something struck him with such force that he initially thought it was a boat. By pure chance, a drone happened to be flying overhead and caught the incident on camera. While the finer details aren't clearly visible, one thing is certain: a violent struggle was taking place. The footage shows Jeffrey desperately fighting off an alligator and swimming frantically toward the riverbank. Miraculously, he survived. He later recalled that the creature was about 10 feet long. Jeffrey ended up needing 34 stitches in his head due to a skull injury, along with multiple bite marks across his body. Now, he swears he'll never go near that river again. An angry farmer opened fire on a drone that was filming over his property. The man, armed with a shotgun, was clearly infuriated that someone was using a drone to spy on his land. Without hesitation, he took aim and pulled the trigger. Seconds later, the drone loses control and crashes to the ground, but its camera keeps recording. If you slow the footage down, you can actually see the man take off his cap and toss it aside just before firing the shot. The exact location of the incident wasn't disclosed, but shortly after the footage surfaced, news broke that the same farmer had been arrested. 1 week later, he allegedly shot and killed a nearby neighbor using the same weapon. Dementia, a heartbreaking and disorienting condition, affects both the young and the elderly. People suffering from it may behave erratically, like a child, a stranger, or even become aggressive or wander off aimlessly. The woman seen in this drone footage suffers from such a mental illness. She had walked away from her home, and her family spent days searching for her. Thanks to a drone equipped with a thermal camera, rescuers spotted what appeared to be a human figure lost in the wilderness. It's unclear why she left or where she was headed, but she wandered far from home in a completely random direction. A police drone eventually detected a small heat signature deep in a wooded area just a few blocks from her neighborhood. Ground teams were alerted and rushed to the scene. The woman was found severely fatigued, cold, and disoriented. She was transported to the hospital for care. This dramatic video captures what many have called a hellish fire vortex. A massive blaze erupted in the Gulf of Mexico due to a gas leak on an underwater pipeline. Fortunately, no one was injured. The rare and surreal event occurred near the coast of Ciudad del Carmen. The fire broke out close to an uninhabited platform, so there was no immediate risk to human life. Authorities confirmed that the pipeline didn't carry crude oil, which meant there was no major ecological threat to marine life in the area. 3 support vessels were deployed to extinguish the fire, which appeared to be burning right on the surface of the water. Aerial footage shows a fiery whirlpool with flames rising above the ocean, forming a terrifying scene straight out of a disaster movie. This haunting drone video reveals the aftermath of a catastrophic explosion at a storage facility in Tianjin, China, where nearly 10,000 brand new vehicles were burned to ashes. Volkswagen, Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, and Renault were all affected, with the French automaker suffering the most, having stored over 6,000 cars on site. Tianjin is one of China's largest ports for vehicle imports, where new cars are staged before being shipped across the country. The explosion occurred late in the evening on August 12, 2015, when a warehouse containing hazardous chemicals blew up. A second explosion followed, triggering an even larger firestorm. The blasts were so powerful they were picked up by seismologists and even detected from space. According to reports at the time, 155 people lost their lives, and over 700 were injured. The drone footage captures the smoldering ruins just hours after the tragedy. A man named Rusty decided to explore an old cemetery after hearing chilling stories about ghosts haunting the grounds. The most famous legend tells of a young mother who lost her baby just weeks before her own tragic death. The tale became so well known that a statue of the grieving mother was erected in her memory. According to legend, her spirit still wanders the cemetery at night, searching for her lost child. It sounds like a typical ghost story, until Rusty sent up his drone. As eerie sounds, moans, and distant screams echoed through the area, Rusty chose not to enter himself and instead used the drone to investigate. That's when he captured something truly disturbing. A shadowy figure appearing to rise from beneath the earth. The entity emerges from the ground and then vanishes into the darkness. Was it the spirit of the Mourning Mother? Rusty was so shaken by what he saw through the drone's lens that he immediately turned it around and left the area. What do you think about this footage? Share your theories in the comments.